Welcome back, y'all. I hope you enjoyed the talk on the evolution of work. I am here with Yuki Graviet from the Meridian Library District unBound. I had to write that down because it's quite the sentence.
It's a mouthful.
Welcome, Yuki.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
We're excited to have you.
Yes, thank
so
you.
tell us a little bit about yourself before we talk about your gig.
Absolutely. So I grew up in the area. I'm local to Idaho. I grew up in Emmett, actually. And I grew up as the daughter of a small business owner. So I grew up accompanying my dad on multiple business trips, delivering product, working in the manufacturing plant alongside him and my sisters, getting my hands dirty, and getting to see behind the scenes on the day-to-day of what it can be like, to run a small business in Idaho and the challenges that can come with that. After I graduated high school, I went to the University of Pennsylvania. And after
You left our state.
I did. I had to spread my wings.
You came back. It's all good.
I did. There's no place like Idaho. I just think it's such a beautiful state, and I have a deep love for it for sure. But after college, I started my first job out in San Francisco. It took me a while to make my way back to Boise, which is the right place to be.
Pennsylvania, San Francisco, at least you were heading in the right direction.
Exactly. West Coast is best, right? And that's where I started out in a tech startup. And so I got to see, again, the behind-the-scenes day-to-day of running a business, more on the entrepreneurial side, obviously in a very different environment than in Idaho, but gained some familiarity with that, and then brought that expertise back to the Meridian Library District, where I now work as the Business Liaison Librarian, and I get to support business owners and entrepreneurs all across the Treasure Valley on a daily basis, and it's a lot of fun.
Cool boomerang story. Yeah, we love to send our Idaho, our talent outside of Idaho, and then they learn transferable skills and equip themselves with all this knowledge, and then they come back to Idaho to share it with the community. So you're a perfect example of that. Now that we know a little bit about you and why you're infected with the entrepreneurial bug, let's talk about the Meridian Library District unBound.
Yes.
What is it?
That's a great question. It's the business and tech location of the Meridian Library District. So it is a blend of a lot of things. It's part makerspace, it's part recording sound studio, it's part design lab, it's part meeting space, and part library, of course. I think a lot of people, when they think of a library, they envision a beautiful building full of books with lots of kids and families, and that's certainly the case. But at unBound, it's quite a different environment. It exists solely to support business owners, entrepreneurs, creatives, tech learners in the Treasure Valley. And when you walk in, you're going to see more machines than you're going to see books. And I think that's really exciting for people. There's a lot of creative opportunities, especially for entrepreneurs in that space.
Let me be completely honest with you. I would have never thought to send an aspiring entrepreneur to
Absolutely.
a library to find resources. Maybe with the exception of a 3D printer and some VR work that they have out at my library.
Right.
But what are some of the ways unBound and the library supports the business community or early stage entrepreneurs?
Absolutely. Well, I think the best thing about our library is that we provide so many options and so much access to various types of equipment at little to no cost with hands-on support constantly, right? We have library staff in the building that are available at all times. So whether someone's coming to use our 3D printer or to use our resin printer or our laser engraver or to report a new podcast, they have people on site who can help them to learn the software that's necessary or learn the actual equipment themselves. And also the brainstorming piece, right? I think all of us who have some experience in the entrepreneurial space, we all understand the frustration of knowing that there's a crucial piece of information that I need to get and I don't know where to get it, or I need to talk through this idea with somebody, but I don't want to pay hundreds of dollars to hire a consultant. I just need a listening ear, and that's what unBound can provide. We're there all the time to answer questions. We're there all the time to brainstorm. And to assist entrepreneurs. So I think that's really the number one asset that we can provide to the entrepreneurial community.
So it's like a safe landing space that then from there you can access resources and access people who care. So if I live in Meridian, and you mentioned the cost earlier, I think you said something about $100 per hour. What does it cost me? What do I need to do to get access to unBound?
Absolutely. So most of our services, just like a normal library, are free. We offer some of our meeting spaces free for the first hour and then $15 an hour after that. Same for the podcast recording studio.
So you're not making a whole lot of money on that, okay?
Believe it or not, libraries are not trying to make money off of our patrons, luckily.
Hey, Trellit is right there with you. We're a nonprofit. We're here to help people. We don't make money on our monthly membership.
That's what we love about getting to partner with you guys and all the the wonderful things that you guys are doing. I think it's amazing how our missions are so aligned and so similar. And access to our equipment is completely free. You know, people just pay at cost for the material that they use, you know, for the filament they use in the 3D printer, or if they choose to use our wood for the laser engraver, we'll charge them for that. But as for the machine themselves and for the hands-on assistance, you don't pay anything.
So let's just be perfectly clear. You have a 3D printer. You said a resin printer. You have a laser engraver. What did I miss?
Let's see if I can even remember off the top of my head.
This is pretty impressive. I don't have any of those here.
Well, when we have multiples. We have so many machines throughout the library, and my favorite part is all of them have literary names, you know, like Atticus and Wilbur, and so they all have a little bit of
So
personality.
it's still a library. Okay,
It's still
I
a library. We have a CNC milling machine.
Okay.
Yeah, we have, oh my gosh, so many.
So
many
prototyping, right? If I have an idea or if I am stuck with building something,
Yes.
I can come to you and you can help me prototype or proof of concept a physical product.
Absolutely. And we do have the list of all of our pricing, all of our machines, everything that's available. It's all on our website. So when people have questions, they can check out the website, give us a call.
So now that we have a high-level understanding of what unBound is, help me understand the why. Why this? And I'm assuming the city of Meridian, because libraries are tied to cities. Help me understand why this was launched.
So ours is actually the Meridian Free Library District, and so we're not tied to the city, which is really beautiful. Actually, we get a lot more freedom as a result of that, and we can make more independent choices, like building a business and technology library specifically dedicated to that space. All libraries, really, our mission is to see people thrive and to empower people with their biggest dreams and their biggest goals and with the information that they need. Libraries are connection centers. We are information centers. We specialize in getting people connected with the resources that they need and getting them to their next step. And so we saw a really crucial need for tech learning availability and business development, workforce development, economic development out in Meridian. And so by seeing that need, that's why we came up with unBound in the first place. That's why we do what we do. We just want to see people thriving.
Wow, what a different take on a library, almost like an economic development agent for Meridian. That's pretty cool.
Librarians wear many hats, you know. I mean, we're portrayed in TV and movies in a certain way, and it's certainly true. You know, we love our books, we love our cats and our dogs. But, you know, I think the thing I love the most about working in libraries, and you'll find this not just at Meridian, you know, libraries across the Treasure Valley, it's such a range of professionals who are from a range of backgrounds and interests, but all of us are equally committed to helping people access the information that they need, and we are all professionals of knowledge, and that's really exciting.
Since we're talking about libraries at large, there's a library just down the street. We're here in downtown
Yes.
Boise on 8th Street.
Yes.
And I have to say, I take my hat off to the librarians there. During the winter times, there are a number of homeless people that go to the library and get access to computers, and they stay warm at the same time. A few of them actually have made it into Trailhead with some business ideas, and I went over to the library and saw them in that environment, and I was just really impressed with how much respect and dignity they were treated by the library.
Absolutely.
So I know that you also are very passionate about childcare. This is something, Yuki, you and I have talked about in the past.
Yes.
How does that relate to unBound, and why are you passionate about access to affordable childcare?
Absolutely. I am passionate about access to affordable childcare from a personal standpoint, right? I think every child deserves to be able to be supported and to be taught from an early age and empowered with the tools and the knowledge that they need to thrive and succeed in their life. From an entrepreneurial standpoint, it is so crucial. We have parents all across the Treasure Valley with excellent ideas for starting their own business, or who are in the midst of trying to scale their business, or who are just trying to stay employed. And unfortunately, because of the childcare crisis that we are facing here in the Treasure Valley, that is providing a strong barrier to entrepreneurship for many parents. And we are going to see that, I believe, in a discussion later that was hosted by the Meridian Library District and facilitated by the United Way of Treasure Valley, with various entrepreneurs and business owners in the valley who are speaking to their own experiences, the challenge of trying to find quality childcare for their kids, so that they're able to, you know, do their best at home while also doing their best at work.
So it's really about optimizing the talent that we have. I always think about it like we're leaving money on the table by not letting people pursue their entrepreneurial endeavors because they don't have access to affordable childcare. And I think with the pandemic, these fault lines were just highlighted even more.
Absolutely. And, even just the parents aside, I mean, the children of today are our workforce of tomorrow, right? So when they're not receiving the quality care that they need, that's also money on the table, right? It's also fulfillment left on the table. I think that investing in our children right now, that's what's going to make tomorrow even brighter and better.
So your personal passion is obviously totally understandable. How does that relate back to unBound?
For childcare?
For childcare. Is there childcare on site, or did I misunderstand that?
There's not childcare on site, although that's a great idea. That would be pretty cool. That's not tied just to unBound specifically. It's tied to the Meridian Library District at large. Our
Okay.
director, Gretchen, she is very, very invested in making sure that there is access to quality childcare for everyone, regardless of whether you're a patron of unBound or you're just, the average person on the street who's never stepped into a library. We're wanting to make sure that that happens for everyone.
I don't have to be convinced. I grew up in Germany where childcare is basically free for most people.
Yeah.
I know the benefits of it. And I also know what it does to empowering women. I don't think it's a coincidence that Germany had a female chancellor for, I think 16 years that was
Absolutely.
quite successful. Yuki, thank you so much for coming down.
Thank you.
And thank you for sharing about unBound. Anything you want to leave the audience with, specifically those folks who live in Meridian, a call out to come see you or get access to the resources at unBound?
Absolutely. Please do come and see us. We would love to see you. Even if you don't live in Meridian, even if you don't have a Meridian library card, walk through our doors. We're happy to help. We're here for you.
You heard it here, folks. Yuki's there to help you. Coming up next, lesson learned during Series A process, Series A being the funding process. But before we do, first, a word from our sponsors.